friends, fans, players, familia. I thought maybe today I would continue on with my desire to teach you better rhythm guitar playing and teach you how to comp a blues kind of like Freddie Green from the Count Basie Band. He wasn't the only guy that did it, but he's the guy that is sort of the most notable character that used this style. It's a nice style to play, you know, on a kind of a slower tempo, and it keeps things moving. It's really great for like duo situations when you're sitting around with your friends and you want to accompany them on a blues, because this feeling of motion, there's like this walking bass line and chords. So let me show you a few kind of cool tricks, and maybe this is something you could develop and use for your own enjoyment. The example that I played is in the key of G, and you probably notice right away that my left hand looks kind of like spaghetti because I use my thumb, and then oftentimes, like, you know, one of these 3 digits, and the rest of the hand is kind of muting the other strings. That first chord that I'm playing is G, and it really is just the root G, the flatted 7th of the chord, which is F and B, right? So what I'm doing is I put my thumb here, okay? All right. The first thing I played is this kind of cool gospel walk-up, which is really, really nice, and I'm playing G. This is a first inversion F, right? So I have A, F, and C. It's like A is the third of F. Anyway, but this phrase, which is G, upside down F, diminished chord. This is B flat, G, D flat, and then I wind up on an upside down G chord, first inversion G, where I have B, G, and D, right? Let's play that again so you can hear it. It's a really nice move, okay? So what's interesting about that is each one of those chords falls on the quarter note. And if we're playing blues that has a quick 4, which means in the second bar, we're going to the 4 chord, that phrase leads us to the 4 chord in the key of G, which is C, quite nicely. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, right? There's my C chord, again, spaghetti fingers, but just know that I'm playing it like this, root, flatted 7th, 3rd, right? And then I just walked this shape back down to 1 through kind of what's like a G minor bass line. So I went C, B flat, A, and landed on G again. And that gets us back to the top of bar 3, which is our G chord again. So here we got 1, bar 2. Actually, that one, I needed a chromatic passing tone, didn't I? C, B flat, A flat, G. That gives us the full quarter notes. Okay, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, bar 1, bar 2, bar 1. Oh, sorry, that was bar 3. Here's bar 5. Check this out. Okay, so I wind up landing on A7, okay, in I guess what is bar 9. If we play kind of folk blues or shuffles, oftentimes our turnaround goes 5, 4, 1, right? In this style, it's more common that you would play 2 to 5 to 1. what's nice about this this walk down, is that this walk down sets us up quite nicely for the A7 by going G, G flat, F, E, which is the 5 of A, right? We can hear some real motion in our comping, okay? So we're getting in the weeds here, so let me just take you from the top again, and we'll get all the way to that A chord. So we've got bar 1, bar 2, here's bar 3, right, here's 5, bar 5, here's our walk down. Same walk up that I did on the G chord from A, and those 4 beats lead us to D7, which is going to be our 5 chord. Okay. Now, for the sake of the instruction, what I did, I think, on the demonstration was that I played a different type of walk up. I didn't keep the same string set, because that brings me all the way to like the 14th fret. I'm starting to kind of run out of space up here. And it's a little bit easier to do a similar idea here on this D. I'm playing D, F sharp, C, right? Strings 5, 4, and 3. I can do a very similar phrase as this, but on 5, 4, 3 strings by playing D7. This is like the old first inversion C chord, kind of like Wind Cries Mary, where I have E, G, C, right? It's like an upside down C chord, right? So the walk up is D7, that upside down C, here's my diminished chord, and these notes are F, B flat, D, right? And then I wind up on the upside down 5 chord, D, which is F sharp, A, D, right? Okay, and then my last little spin, I play 1, 6, 2, and 5 to get us back to the top of the form. So I played G, F, E, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Top of the form. All right. Now let's see if I can play that whole thing for you, sort of exactly as I explained it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very cool chord motion, and the most important thing is it adheres to the blues changes, right? It lands on 1 when we need to be on 1, lands on 4 when we need to be on 4, but it also is sort of teaching our ear to hear when tension is building in the blues form and it's in motion on the way to the next chord of the blues, the 1, 4, or 5, or in this case we set up 5 with 2, right? This winds up being really important if you want to solo in a coherent and melodic way over these chords. You need to understand when chord progressions, in this particular case the blues, when chord progressions are in motion or when chord progressions are at rest, right? And that determines kind of what we can play. When chords are at rest, we generally want to play melodic ideas that belong directly to the chord. When chords are in motion and they're volatile, or we call them dominant functions, when those chords are in a dominant function and they're in motion, then we have a much wider palette from which we can build melody. We can play all kinds of notes, and you've heard me talk a little bit about playing, wrong notes on this channel, about soloing, and it's in these particular places where those wrong notes can help underscore the fact that the chord progression is in motion. We're in a dominant function at that point in time. Anyway, we got a little nerdy, but I hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions, just comment down in the comment section, and I'd be happy to try to clear some of that stuff up. I'm supposed to say like and subscribe at the beginning, which I often forget, but it would be great if you could do that. Anyway, happy practicing, and folks, we'll see you soon.